Well, really, there is no one like Father Branken.
He just embodies what I imagine Jesus would if I had known when Jesus was on the earth.
For just as through your beloved Son.
Everything he does is just a reflection of God living through him.
Blessed are those called to the supper.
His love of God and the way that it's expressed, all of that is a reflection of God.
He has touched so many souls. I just think people are going to remember him as someone who they got to know Jesus better because of Father Branken.
God created the universe and he saw that it was good. So we're living in that good. There's a purpose to all of this and a purpose to our lives.
He is truly extraordinary. He is the most gifted person I've ever met in my life. It's a talent unlike anything I've ever seen.
I grew up on the south side of Chicago. My father was a policeman, my mother was a school teacher, and there were 5 children in our house. We all could draw. That was kind of a strange thing. And I don't think my mother or my father drew. We were drawing on everything. We were drawing in books and drawing on the walls. We were obsessed with it. So my father built a big blackboard in the kitchen, and we would have contests, and of course we all won. But we just drew. And then in 1975, I was ordained to the priesthood. They sent me to a parish in Cicero, Illinois, right outside of Chicago. And I enjoyed being there, and I enjoyed the people. The second parish I was in, I was there for 21 years. They had all kinds of Irish musicians in the parish too, and you could fall out of bed and land on a bagpiper. So I thought to myself, okay, we got to make hay while the sun shines with this. So for 3 years in a row, I wrote a play incorporating Irish history with the faith, and we did costumes, and we probably involved like 200 or 300 people in the parish every year, and we worked for months putting these things together for 3 years in a row. That was a way to actually use the art and the music to teach the faith. And teach history and bring it all together. I was lucky in my life as a priest, I was able to integrate all that. Let us give thanks to the Lord our God.
He loves God. He loves the faith. He loves the tradition that we've been raised in.
Sins and bring us to life everlasting.
I think that is at the core of who he is.
He is a teacher as a priest. He catechizes in a way that I've never had a priest do before.
He's a very well-known homilist, and he writes the way he talks. So his homilies are always almost like conversational.
Every day of my priesthood, I would say I learned something, either about the people that I was working with or myself. Learned my weaknesses, learned how to help the people as much as I could. I always loved my people in the parishes I was in. I was fascinated by them all, fascinated by their stories. I enjoyed working with them, and that constant co-involvement, them with me with them, made me this priest. You know, I hope it's a good priest.
Father Branken's music is a whole nother dimension of his personality.
The instruments I play well enough, at least to satisfy me, would be the piano. I used to play the mandolin, a little guitar, a little accordion, the harp, a little tin whistle, and those are the ones. My father was very hard of hearing. So the music that he heard best was music called ragtime. The style of ragtime was honky-tonk, like kind of cheap and fast and rinky-tink piano. This was the music I just loved because I heard it all the time. So I was playing piano since like high school, playing ragtime. Not really good, but good enough.
He exudes so much joy when he gets on a piano, and he can't walk past a piano without playing.
And then if you turn around, he's on the accordion, and it sounds like maybe a polka is going to start. So he just has such a variety of musical interests and ability.
He loves to gather people around. He loves to just get people just excited and fast, and it's just another way to share joy with people.
Then I was curious about harps.
I remember the first time we were over there and saw these harps that were in his living room. And then he mentioned how he made them because he liked harp music and they were too expensive to buy. So again, I thought that's just incredible that you would even think, well, I'll just make one. So the harps were kind of the hook because you just don't see harps everywhere.
So I bought a little kit, and it was a very small little harp. And I thought, okay, this will be kind of fun. So I put the kit together, learned how to play a little bit. I said, that was pretty good, easy. So then using what I remembered from the kit, I built my own. You hear the musical note? I was able to start carving wood faces on the neck and the headboards. All the while in between, every time I make one, I'd learn how to play it and learn how to do different songs. But there are, in my experience, combinations of notes, rhythms, harmonies that are so beautiful that they also reflect the beauty of God in the way they come together. But that's what music means to me as well. It's just this expression of somehow the beauty of God, the loveliness of God in that.
When you go over to Father Branken's compound, as we call it, you really are surrounded by nature and beauty.
It is like you're stepping into a different world. There's peacefulness.
It's just serene, beautiful.
He lives off the main road down a gravel lane, and about halfway down the gravel lane, there are these posts with a cross beam above them. And I just looked at my husband like, what are we getting into? Because it seemed ominous. Then when you come into the clearing and there's a house and a barn and the stone chapel, it's just like nothing you expected to see.
Feels like you're in a museum, quite honestly.
You kind of feel like you've just gone back into the 7th century.
I knew Galena was a beautiful area, so I came out here. I went to a real estate developer and I said, my family's looking for a place in the country. It needs a house and a barn so we can work in it, some acreage, and I said, it could be abandoned, but we'll fix it up. So that was all she wrote, because the real estate lady said, oh, I know a place. So she took me out here. We had to walk up that road, the gravel hill, came down, and then before me stood this huge, hulking, red brick, pre-Civil War house. Trees were growing through the windows. The barn was pretty much of a wreck. And she says, I think you might like this place. We walked all around it and walked in, and I walked out, and I thought, my brothers and my father will kill me if I say yes, but... So anyways, I came home and I said, I think I found a place. And my brother-in-law looked at the pictures I had taken. He said, you have to be out of your mind. I said, well, we could work on it. So it took us 3 years. We made it livable. Then we started making it a little nicer.
He's created everything from the stone walkways to the chapel that was built by hand.
It had been an old foundation for a slaughterhouse. It wasn't very big. And I looked at it and I said, okay, this foundation is going to be the start of the chapel. And I've been building this chapel in my drawings since I was in high school. But that took about 10 years, and that became a chapel where I say Mass. In the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. You can only fit maybe 10 people in there, which is unfortunate because it's a very beautiful place to say Mass. He who comes in the name of the Lord, Hosanna. There's no electricity up there. It's all stone. I left the doors open this winter because I figured the animals, need a little shelter. They could go into the chapel. I love being up there.
Father Branken is an extraordinary artist. His sculptures are beyond anything I've ever seen.
And when I was a senior in high school, I read a book, then there was a little kind of how-to if you were interested in doing sculpting. And I thought, let me try. And it was so easy, it was just as easy as drawing. I said, great. So I continued every year of my life to continue to make statues.
His artwork really makes you think about God. It makes you think about creation. It makes you think about we are not just by chance.
I probably did a life-size statue every year for probably most of my years as a priest. The way I would do that is I would give myself whatever extra time I had to the art. I have a picture back there where I'm standing there with 4 statues, that a group, and I'm in a lab coat. And the only reason I was in the lab coat was not for the effect. I was in the lab coat because I had 15 minutes probably between appointments, and I could run out to the garage, work on a finger, work on a fingernail, and then I wouldn't get dirty if I had the lab coat on. Okay. All you have to do is sit down and think, okay, where am I going to go with this? And you kind of have half an idea, an instinct.
It's just astounding to me that he can make it out of nothing. He can start with pipes and chicken wire and tape. And it ends up a beautiful statue in bronze, and it all just comes from his mind.
When I do a statue, I don't do everything at the same rate. I do the head as much as possibly finished so that when I mount it on the skeleton, I'm inspired to go forward. If I could see a good-looking face, male or female, if I could just see this beautiful face, then I'm inspired to continue, to match the rest of the body with the beauty of the head and face. Eventually, once I get all the clothes on and the clay, then I smooth it all off, and then I call the foundry, who comes and they make the bronze for me. The bronze will be forever. I don't give it to the patron until I'm totally satisfied.
He almost feels a responsibility that he needs to bring people to God through his artwork, through the beauty. Everything he does is a way to draw people in.
Most of my pieces have been life-size or larger than life-size, and that's because I love the human person. The way God has set it all up, it's just, it not only fascinates me, it stuns me sometimes, the beauty of it. But I think to myself, that's the key. You know, God through the beauty to the beholder. So that's what I've been trying to do for, I'm 76 years old. So if I've been drawing since I was 6, that's what I was trying to do. It's just looking to do something beautiful. In Chicago, I have a statue of the Sacred Heart of Jesus in the Holy Name Cathedral. And that was a very beautiful experience for me.
The way Father sculpts people's faces and their eyes, it just draws you right in. And I remember asking how he decided to do it with Jesus sitting, because that's not usually a pose that you see.
I had him seated with his heart in his hand, and he's leaning forward just a little bit. And I tried to work the eyes as carefully as I could, so that when you stood in front of him, you were eyeball to eyeball, and he was looking at you when you were looking at him.
His artwork really makes the subject that he's working with come alive and personable, and maybe it's because it's so up close. You feel like, oh, I can really get into this.
It's almost like a sermon, and that sermon will last for a long, long time. Way outlast me. I think what I'm hoping they take away is the teaching that I'm teaching, or the meaning of the statue, but also that if there's something behind that or underneath it or within it, that it's revealed to them and that they can live their lives a little more beautifully because of that. Either the things I might say or the things they might see that I've done.
And I think it goes back to the fact that at his core, his priestly identity is the salvation of souls and to point them toward God. And he's able to do that through the art, the beauty that draws us to God and wants to know more about God.
I just feel like it's heaven on earth.
I could hope I could say I'm living in the presence of God, and my hope is that I would feel the presence of God when I do a piece of art, or when I just live, or when I do a piece of music. My first assignment as a priest, I did a statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary. She was pregnant. And I had some of the kids from school that came from the 8th grade. I said, you guys help me make the statue. So they got to sign their names in the bottom of the statue. But I remember one time making that statue, I finished the face and I started getting teary-eyed. Because I think I was able to touch the divine. He touched me. I don't think I could be an artist or a priest or a musician separate from any of the other things. You make all these good things, O Lord. You sanctify them, fill them with life, bless them. I've been blessed a lot. But the people in my life, the things God gave me to do, that's pretty much, it's all undeserved. Grace is undeserved. Grace is just a gift from God. So I just accept the gift and thank Him for it.